He doesn't know that she's lying yet because she's lying to him. She's just be like, I'm not hungry.
She's not telling him about the power. She's being weird with food, which, I mean, is telling for a couple of different reasons. But, I mean, he's being very, very patient, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Because he has to know something. I think it would be weird if this person, as soon as he got to a place, was like, oh, no, I don't do this thing. Like, hey, these friends, they don't know I drink. Okay? So when we go over there, just, like, be cool. Don't tell him nothing.
Yeah, I feel like the proper thing is to do something along those lines, though, and be like, hey.
Fill him in.
I have a thing going. You want to be a vegan with me? Give him some warning. Because he gets real pissed. He's like, Kahlan, what the fuck kind of meat is this?
God damn it, eat your bacon. Yeah, no, it's not bacon.
She's like, it says that she was not planning on telling him.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like Richard being a woods guide, right? He goes hunting. He does take a guess. He goes, I think it's pork. And they're like, nah, it ain't pork. So he tries, but he can't quite put his finger on it. And I mean, I think Kahlan was almost hoping he wasn't going to ask.
No, she was. It said she wasn't going to tell him.
But then he asked.
Yeah.
And so she asks the Birdman, what kind of meat is it? And the Birdman says, it's a firefighter. And when he asked what a firefighter was, Kahlan's like, well, it's one of Dark and Roll's men. So.
It is so fucked up that she wasn't going to tell him. Like, in what world are you like, yeah, I'm going to let you eat human and just be like, it's going to be a non-thing.
Now, Jade, we've been together a long time, over a decade. You know, I don't eat something unless I know what it is. I have a thing. Maybe I'm weird about it, but I will not let Jade just put something into my mouth. I have to put eyes on it and be like, what the fuck is that?
He doesn't trust me. I've never fed him.
It could be
the things
anybody.
He doesn't like.
You are the best of all. I give you the most leeway. Nobody else tries to feed me by hand, so it really hasn't been an issue.
Yeah.
But like, it's not something I'm okay with. And I feel like human meat, that's one of those things that you let people know.
You do avoid me. Like, I'm going to give you like a pickle gravy tuna burrito.
No, I like pickles now. I changed my mind on that, but the gravy tuna burrito, come on. That can't possibly be a thing.
Well, I would never do that to you. Just so that's on record that wouldn't happen. But yeah, I agree. If you're ever going to feed me human or let me be fed human, let a bitch know.
Right. So, Savidlin explains that firefighters are enforcers who bring the decree of Lord Rawl that nobody is to use fire. They can be very brutal. So instead of letting the firefighters return and bring back more men, because fuck that, they weren't going to comply, and they knew it.
Because they need fire.
Yeah, well, they have to fucking eat.
Yeah.
And they have to be warm. Like, they have to live.
You can't have fire. Fire is life.
Right.
What?
What do you mean we can't use fire? Fuck off.
Yeah, they really didn't have an option but to kill a guy.
Right, exactly. There was no way they were going to win. Yeah, so they fucking killed him. And they eat the meat so that they can gain their enemy's wisdom.
This is actually not just a mud people thing. This is like, historically, this is a thing.
Really?
For sure. It's called, I believe, exo-cannibalism. And if you want to hear more about it, you can find us over on Patreon, because we're going to do a whole episode about cannibalism.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I shouldn't be that excited about cannibalism.
It's going to be super fun, I promise.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just now learned about this. So, hell yeah, we're doing an episode on cannibalism. I'm going to have to watch my Hannibal movies again.
Yep.
That's really fucking cool. No, I didn't know that. And so that they want their enemy's wisdom, that's the whole purpose behind this gathering. All the preparation and stuff, it was so they could eat this meat, learn their enemy's knowledge and then go into the spirit house and have the gathering.
And kind of call this is also to like call the spirits, like the drums are like helping, I think, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I think it's like when you take a psychedelic, you use the music, you use the vibe and the, tastes, smells, anything to like ramp it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really have any firsthand knowledge, I guess, but that's kind of the way it seems with the music and the smells and the food and they're tripping balls. That's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And they use it to like heighten their senses beforehand. But Richard, he's not really thrilled about this. He's like, I see. And Kahlan, well, this is her first clue that Richard knew more than he let on. She can see it in his eyes. He fucking knew, and he was waiting to see whether or not she was going to tell him the truth. Why did she deserve a trial like this from Richard? I know she's lying to him like a lot. Like a fucking lot. So she does deserve it. But like, from Richard's point of view, what made him choose right now to give her a test?
Well, I think that things were starting to get weird when he went and got her from Nestle's house.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, he couldn't understand, but they were talking about the stamina thing and Kahlan's being weird. And I think he just, with all the lies before, and he's trying to build this like trust thing between them. I think he just, in his mind, they're past this kind of bullshit. Why wouldn't you just tell me what I needed to do? I'm here to do I'm here to do a thing. I've done everything you've asked me to do. Why the fuck are you gonna hold out on me and get me to do shit without me knowing? Like, make me eat fucking people and not give me a warning.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I'm here. I'm willing to come this far. So like, let me know. And it doesn't really reflect on Kahlan at all either, was the other thing. Like, yeah, the mud people, they have their way of doing shit. It's not my way of doing shit, but if you want your way granted, we have to do it this way. Sorry, it sucks. It's weird. Welcome to being the seeker, motherfucker. I just got you laid potentially 4 times.
But again, Kahlan knew that these people were cannibals before she came. She knew there's a good possibility that this was going to fucking happen. That's why she's always been like a non-meat eater when she goes.
Right.
So she could have totally, on their walk up, when she was trying to explain the mud people, been like, hey, as far as they know, we are vegans. I've never seen you eat meat. Do not eat the meat.
Right. Do not eat the meat. And for damn sure, don't eat it with your left hand.
Right. So that's why. Bitch deserved it.
So Richard, now that he kind of has the upper hand in the situation, he's like, Kahlan, do me a favor. I want something to get this fucking taste of people out of my mouth, thanks to you. So you can go get me an apple. He doesn't really say it like that, but he's like, Kahlan, do me a favor. And she's like, your legs work, motherfucker. Yeah, you can't really blame her.
No.
I had it in my mind that I was going to kind of pull a prank on you. Not really a prank, but like a joke. I was going to laugh anyway. And I was going to and I was going to ask you to like get me a beer just halfway through the podcast. Like, JD, could you just go, or maybe even run upstairs? Could you just go get the super random thing? And I was going to get your response, but I figured it was too close to us reading this chapter. You'd be like, I know what you're doing.
Your legs aren't broken, motherfucker.
Right. But she goes. Like, she's pissed. But she goes.
Well, because he's like, oh, I have to decide which lady.
I have to stay here and devote my time to deciding. There's just not enough time, Kahlan. I have to sit here and just bask in this. And I'm sorry, my hands are tied. Girls, maybe?
Yeah.
No? Yes? We'll talk. But you know what always gets a bad taste out of my mouth?
What's that?
Do you really not know? Because, like, we...
It's time for the beer break.
Yes, it is. Well, in honor of this week's chapter, I have 3 different beers. They're from the same place, but they're not technically the same thing. We have 3 different ciders from the Ridge Cider Company. Now, the one we're drinking right now is called Caramel Apple, and the only real description on the can says Michigan hard cider with handmade caramel sauce. Fucking caramel sauce, Jade.
Oh, yeah, I taste it.
And you know what? It's gluten-free.
Oh, for all you non-gluteners. There you go.
I mean, yeah, I looked at the ingredients. It's literally apples, caramel sauce. I was like, okay, well, I'm sold. The Ridge is one of the prime fruit growing regions of the world. One of our nation's top producing areas for apples, a fruit belt ranging in higher elevations along Lake Michigan. This is where our hard ciders are grown and squeezed.
I know we've had something from the Ridge before. I don't know if it was one of these ciders that we're drinking tonight or something else. I know that they do a lot of ciders, so there's a good chance we've maybe done one of these before, but
it could be. I don't think we've done this one before.
Right. But we do pass this when we go up north to go tubing.
Yes, we do. As far as this one goes, it's more tart, I think, than I expected. Because it's caramel apple, and when you think of a caramel apple, it's got the tartness from the apple, which there definitely is. But it's much sweeter because of the caramel, and I don't think the sweetness really came through that much. It's not a bad beer by any means, but I think I expected something different.
Well, it's not a beer, it's a cider. But
yeah, well, you got me there.
It's definitely like, hey, here's caramel. Hey, there's cider. And that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
What I expected.
Sames. I think we feel like about the sames.
Yeah. I feel like it's good, but it's not as like one flavor.
Right. Well, we are going to take a break, swap these out for 2 more, and we'll be back right after this. And we are back. And Kahlan is on her way to go, I want to say fetch, but I don't want to say fetch, some apples or 1 apple for Richard. And she is pissed. She wishes. How many times has this happened to you? Have you ever been angry enough to be like, I dare you to say something bad to me so I can just...
Like a lot.
Destroy you.
Like a lot.
Please say something.
Nobody ever does.
No, they don't. But
and then my anger simmers away and I lose the moment.
Type B, huh?
Yeah, I mean, probably. You're going to be real surprised someday.
So once she's in Savidlin's home, she just flops on the floor. And it literally says flops on the floor. Like on a skin like rug that he's got in there. But yeah, she just hits the ground and she starts to sob. She does not fucking like the attention that Richard's getting from those 4 girls. And she is broke up about it.
Yeah. And on one hand, I get it. You don't like to see the guy you're crushing on hitting on other girls and having girls hitting on him. It's like uncomfortable. That
compounded with the fact that we know like she doesn't have sex.
Yeah.
She's never had sex.
I guess she's got a lot of pent up shit going on.
Yeah.
She's crying a lot lately.
I was going to make a comment about that. She's cried in every chapter for the last few chapters.
Yeah.
And then she has immediately sucked it up and told whoever she was crying to that she shouldn't be crying. Or not that she shouldn't be, but she's like, I keep crying and I don't know what the fuck's going on. She's emotional.
Yeah.
A lot.
And I mean, it does say it's happened a lot since the boundary went down between Dahara and the Midlands. This is a pattern, but it's a lot. Like not even just the last few chapters. Since we've met her, she's cried a lot. And it's crazy that you don't think about that when you think about Kahlan.
No, she's a very strong woman.
Yeah. And maybe it's just because you know that the reasons she cries are like super valid. Like,
yeah,
it's been pretty fucked up lately.
Yeah, well, you know, and you mentioned she's been really emotional since the boundary came down. She's been doing some shit since the boundary came down.
She's probably super fucking fatigued.
Yeah, oh yeah.